Okay, so next we're going to work on a background. You should have all of your layers, you should have blending styles done on each one, whether you have them on or off, which is fine. Okay, so for right now, we're going to turn off all of our layers so that we have just a blank canvas. Okay, so once you've done that, you can go ahead and go down here to the bottom next to the trash can and click on create a new layer, and you'll have a new layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple things. The first thing I'll show you how to do is make a solid background. Pretty easy. Basically, all you have to do is choose your color. So we're going to go over here and I'll pick a sky blue, and then we're going to go to the paint bucket and click. We now have that. If I turn all of my stuff on, there you go. So now I have all of this. Now, if you notice, I turned my handles on, but my handles didn't show up. The reason is that the layer for the background is above it. So if we take and put it down, and now if I turn it on, you can see it. So that is a solid layer. You can do that a solid color. But a lot of times you want to change, make the background look different. So what we're going to do is we're going to trash this. And for you to trash something, all you have to do is either right click and go to delete layer and say yes, or you can take and drag it to this trash can and it goes away. So what I want to show you is how to make a gradient. And a gradient is going from one color to another. So we're going to turn all of these off again so that we have this. Make sure your new layer is selected, and where the paint bucket is, we're going to right click and go to the gradient tool. And if you look up here, there is something that shows colors. And as you can see, it's the blue and orange, which is the blue and orange that I chose here. And then you have all these styles, normal, opacity. So we're going to just play with a few things for right now. One thing is that this one here will do a linear gradient. So once you have your layer selected, your gradient tool, and this, if you go over to the cursor, to the canvas, and you click and drag, it will create a background. You can do it in any direction, for any length, and you can create the effect that you would want it to do. Now, if you click on this down arrow, there are other things, other colors that are already preset. So if you really want to get colorful, you can go here. If you want to, so you have all of this stuff that's going on. The other thing is the next one is that if I click this one over here, it's a radial gradient, which means round. So we're going to go back to our original color, and I'm going to start in the middle and go out, and it will give me a round gradient. If I want to pinpoint something, I can do that. I can do it over the whole thing from one corner. So you can just play around with that. The next one is the angle gradient, and this is basically if you want to create lines, focal points, that type of stuff. So you can just click and drag all of this stuff. The next one is reflective, which means it goes from one color to another color to another color. So it's going to go from your blue to your orange to your blue. If I make it shorter, so orange, blue, orange, because orange is on the bottom. If I switch this and I put orange and blue and I do the same thing, I have the reverse. And the last one is the diamond. So if I click and hold and drag in the middle, I can make a diamond. You can change the color. And if you want to make your own colors, basically you do the same thing. You click on the orange, click on the color, go here and choose a color, and then go to the second color and say we'll do yellow and black. So now if I go up here, my one in the corner is yellow to black. So you pick the one that you like the most or what's going to work for yours, and you go ahead and make one. So once you have your gradient done, your background, your solid color, whatever you're going to do, go ahead and turn on the rest of your shoes, and you can go ahead and move to the next step.